Welcome back to Essentials.tf and welcome back to our coverage of Esports United Community Rumble. We made it, Peter. We're alive! Woo!
Oh my God!
We put out the fire!
Yeah, that's a new experience for me, at least as far as LANs goes, that the fire alarm goes and we all have to leave, evacuate the building. Yeah,
we had to kind of walk away from the technology for a solid 20 minutes and everyone felt just awkward as hell.
Yeah. I was actually wondering about the stream. It was just like left on. Like, are we going to run out of good music to play or something?
Yeah, and luckily production were able to actually like wirelessly tamper with things and turn on certain cameras and stuff like that. So we got to see like a fireman kind of go back and forth here, but and the ghost man.
Oh yeah, and people were calling me liars in chat when I first said it, but they learned better.
Yeah,
I feel vindicated.
Well, anyway. We're here not to talk about the fire, we're here to talk about our upper bracket final, Peter. Yeah. It's going to be Lowpander versus Froyotech, a pretty fire game in its own right.
Oh yeah, it's going to be burning hot.
Okay, I'm going to limit myself to that's all the fire puns I'm going to do now. I'm got it out of my system, so...
I'm not sure I can contain myself, but yeah, this should be an absolute fantastic game. It's going to be Lowpander versus Froyotech, two by far best teams we've seen at this tournament so far. And last time around, like, even though we thought Froyotech were probably going to be the favorites, they actually ended up losing to Lowpander. Yeah. So now it's just a matter of how have people been able to cope with being like in a gaming, like they have just been gaming all day, and all of them are really tired, and you know some people deal with that better than others, and that could really come into play here. So it could be a completely different game. Could be the same story over, we just don't know. Yeah, and keeping to note as well, maybe Lowpander might have got the one-up against Froyotech at the start with the Swiss system match, but this is best of 3, baby. This is a playoff game, and it's totally different once you're actually able to ban out some of these maps that you don't like and pick out these ones that you do like. And if you mess up on one round, one little map, you can just play another 2. You can make a clawback. Yeah, that happens all the time. So it's still a big deal, but like there's a way to salvage it, and that's very important. And it also becomes a lot more tactical right now. And you know, Froyotech, they have some maps that they really like, and they have some maps that they don't like. And the same goes for Lowpander. So now you can like try to strategically like ban the opponent's good maps, or just like pick your own favorites, like however you want to go about it. Like also. Like Froyotech is a kind of a mixed team, so perhaps they're going to go for like just let's get the standard maps in because we all know them, we played them so much that maybe that's going to be like the way they're going to go about it. That could definitely be a really big consideration, I think. Yeah, I'd imagine they're not putting too much thought into their map picks. They're probably just going to go with like how everyone feels particularly comfortable on certain maps and just do like a quick tally. Like, okay, put your hands up if you like Viaduct. Okay, we'll play Viaduct. Like, yeah. Probably goes far. But Lowpander, they've got the luxury of actually maybe falling back on some all of these past experiences, or maybe knowing which teams they're good at that on particular maps and like certain play styles. They've got all sorts of things really to kind of fall back on when it comes to the draft. Yeah, we see it here, and 2 bans that don't surprise me at all. Reckon are getting banned by Froyotech right away. They didn't want it, and then Gollywash also getting banned out. We saw Gabuglio just absolutely crush on that map. Yeah. So instead, it's going to be picked up product. That's probably to get the Mr. Epic Sniper going. Yeah. Froyotech, they don't have an obvious sniper carry on their team, so instead they're going to pick Snakewater instead. And that's a pretty interesting map. It's a very long map, and like it can be very difficult to push on. It's one of those maps where you can kite Ubers on basically all points, not so much last. I'm not sure, how well have they been doing on Snakewater so far? I can't really... I think we haven't seen much games happen on Snakewater, so a lot of this will be very interesting because the majority of the games I've seen have been played on Gollywash, and with that being banned out immediately by Lowpander, it kind of leaves things up in the air. But I imagine they've gone with Snakewater because they're feeling very confident with in regards to their soldiers. Maybe they feel like the soldiers can just do a lot of work on this map, because I know Gabuglio is a bit of a force to be reckoned with when it comes to some of these mids, and I know Paddy's pretty forefront with these pushing across mids and just kind of backing up his roaming soldier on these mids as well. And Snakewater can be one of those maps where if you roll out on the that mid, you can kind of sail it all the way to that last point. Yeah. But Product, not surprising. Again, kind of a wild card map, leaning back on that Mr. Epic Sniper like you mentioned as well. And I think they're just
think that maybe they could just kind of meme it, really. And actually, there we go. We've got the Badlands pick coming.
That's kind of surprising to me that they banned out Badlands. That's probably the most standard map of all of them, but right? Like it's kind of fallen out of favor a little bit lately because of last being very difficult to push into and out of. So maybe they don't want to have a map where it's all slowed down, and a more coordinated team can probably just grind them out. So that could be what they're thinking, but still, it's the map that most people have played the most of all, like the competitive maps. I think most people are just like grew up basically on a steady diet of Badlands and Golly was right.
I don't think it's anything to do with Badlands. I think it's just the other maps they're feeling a lot more comfortable on. Like Process has really climbed up in the ranks, and Sunshine is kind of a bit of a wildcard map, and I know that they've had a good time on Sunshine against other teams as well. So.
I think they've played Sunshine more in America than Europe. Like Sunshine was never taken out of the rotation in America.
So
I'm not 100% on this, but that feels like it's correct.
Yeah, they had a good showing against Pizza Polishers as well. So, on that map, so they're probably feeling very confident in that map. So I am very curious to see what they will ban out over on Lowpander. I'd imagine the Sunshine.
They do get rid of Sunshine and Processes. I think everyone liked Process.
Yeah, Process is like a map that it seems like nobody has a problem with nowadays.
Yeah.
Everyone enjoys a good bit of Process, but I'm maybe a little bit concerned about like the Demo Man matchup. I feel like Habib does a good amount of work on a map like Process, while Hildreth, I mean, he's just not that flashy kind of demo, so he might play solid and do that, but I can just see Habib like taking over the game on a map like that.
Yeah, that's definitely a concern. I'm not too worried. I think it's kind of interesting that Snakewater can be very dictated by soldiers on middles especially, and then scouts kind of take over, but Product is the exact opposite. I feel like soldiers are so ineffective on Product. So like
you say this, but I feel like Garbuglio does a good job of kind of arguing against that particular, I guess, brain, because he seems to just get a lot of work done when it comes to just getting behind and like being a pest and like really does. It makes Soldier look good on the map, I reckon.
Oh yeah, that's kind of amazing because like we've seen every once in a while. Like Shadowburn was always really good. On Viaduct.
Pretty much all these like really good jumpers and like very mobile soldiers have a really good time. And well, I say a really good time. They're more like they manage to pull it off.
Yeah, pretty much right. Like, and usually it starts with getting behind line.
And keep in mind, like they're playing against Lowpander as well. They're going to have to get a soldier behind if they want to deal with the Mon Sniper.
Yeah, and actually now that I think about it, they used to do where they would take Mr. Epic on Sniper and then they'd pull Ubers away from Soldier over onto to Scout. But can Poppy do the same?
I'm not sure if
that could actually change the dynamic quite a bit.
Yeah, I feel like if he's going to want to feel comfortable, because keep in mind he's like main calling as well. So he'll probably want to stay on Soldier, which might put them a little bit out of the comfort zone, because again, they are very used to Ubers just switching out on Scout all the time. But maybe it won't make too big of a difference. It would just be like kind of just like a weakened Scout, really.
Yeah, maybe. Could also just be that they're going to go for a whole bunch of cookie cutter and surprises.
Yeah.
Like I doubt it. I'm pretty sure they've been very all in on the Mr. Epic Sniper plays in the past, and probably will be in the future. But now that we have some sort of grasp on, like we know the maps, and we've seen these teams play quite a lot this weekend, including against each other. What are your feelings about where we're going with this matchup?
I feel like the Swiss game was not a fluke in a way, but it was just there was a lot of good reasons why Froyo lost that match.
Yeah.
And now that Lowpander are playing against Froyo, it's almost like they have to face the music. It's almost like they're now playing like an even playing field with Froyo, and I think even they can feel the pressure at this point, and they know that. I mean, they say like, oh no, we're not going to do well, but I'm sure deep down they do want to win. They kind of think like if they hit their target and stuff like that, they can be the better team.
I mean, now that they're sitting here, they're never going to not try, right? Like, like you want to win.
Yeah, they're just the natural competitors. I mean, you have to be to get to this point in anything.
All you have to like play less tomorrow,
Yeah.
which means you can get up later.
Yeah. That is the beauty of winning actually this upper bracket final. You don't have to do any sort of games until the grand final of that game, which is nice. You get plenty of sleep. You got time to like actually spy on the enemy team, just kind of watch their games, see how they're playing the games and whatnot.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Also, you get a double map ban advantage, I believe.
Yes. So. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the only advantage that they get out of it. But that's still very good. You can definitely screw over some teams, especially a mixed team.
Yeah, it feels like it doesn't do much, but keep in mind, like, say if this matchup ended up as a 2-1, you can use your second ban tomorrow and immediately ban out like the map that you just couldn't seem to pull over against Lowpander, and that cuts out so much work. That means one less demo to kind of review and kind of craft and like deal with that. Yeah. You know what I mean? You don't have to kind of focus your efforts on so much on that one particular map. You can just kind of
like if you just get crushed on snake water or something, you can just ban it out.
Exactly.
It's very true. It's a good point. I also feel like Froyotech might actually be favored here, but mostly just because that all of the Lowpander players seem kind of tired to me. Like they seem kind of worn out during the day. So I think that's really beginning to catch up with them. It's not like it doesn't affect Froyo as well. It just they've seen a bit more composed as far as I could tell. So I think for that reason I would slightly favor Froyo. But we have to remember that like Lowpander, they won the last time around. Yeah. So we should definitely not underestimate them in any way.
Yeah, I'm sure it might actually work against them because maybe Froyo could have gone into this a little bit cocky if they won the Swiss match, but now they're going to. I imagine there's going to be no cockiness at all from Froyotech. They're going to somewhat be respectable and kind of treat this as properly as they need to.
Yeah, like I don't think they were underestimating Lowpander that much or anything, but like now they definitely know that if they're not trying their best, they're going to just lose.
Yeah.
Right, like Lowpander, they're too good. They can't just waltz through this.
Yeah, this is not like not a free event, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they're actually going to have to put in a lot of effort and try really, really hard and do a lot of good calls and good plays and hit those shots. So, like, I'm sure. And now they don't have any warm up. Like, we didn't actually go outside and like and put our feet to the flames.
They actually had the opposite of a warm up. They had a cold up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe also that could have woken them up a little bit.
Yeah.
I know. I was like kind of feeling drowsy because like we're inside. It's kind of warm and like. And then when I came outside, I was feeling kind of refreshed.
Yeah.
So that could be a way, but yeah, you're very much right that they kind of cooled down if they had been like MGing their face off all day.
Is there a particular person that you're maybe kind of eager to see a good performance out of? Who's like a good person to watch, do you think, in this upcoming game?
I think Habib's going to have a lot to say. Like, I feel like if he can really like hit his stride and do a lot of damage, then he can be very, very impactful. I feel like all the maps are maps where Demoman can shine. Like they did ban out Golly Wars, but that's the only one that I would really say is like a clear Demoman map. And I think on Viaduct or Product, like I think the Demoman can be really, really strong. Like just a dominating performance.
I think it
just lob stickies
literally the backbone of any Product sort of team.
Yeah.
But I'm going to maybe turn to Mookie. He's had some very, very strong performances so far. Like just kind of, well, it's mainly like the star power in the way. Like it looks very nice and fancy on stream, and he gets those kind of memorable moments where he gets these fancy backstabs and these random little bombs and just the little plays, little shenanigans he finds his way in. As we are close to actually getting all 12 people onto the server, so should be starting any second now.
Yeah, I'm going to give Froyotech a small hint if they're listening in. That's Mookie likes to play spy on this map. He's been very effective. Like even when he's been found out, he's been very good at actually getting picks and just do damage.
I think after a couple of spy moments, he's feeling pretty good on the class, or maybe just, you know, when you have that really hype moment and you're like, man, I want this hype moment to carry on and happen every day, every day. So he's just going to keep. He's almost running it too much, where it's a bit predictable. But I don't know, maybe. If he still manages to make it work, which is like one of the interesting things about the Mookie spy, is usually if someone gets found out, that spy is quite useless, but Mookie always seems to kind of at least make a trade, it feels like.
Yeah. I think also one of the things to really keep in mind here is that most of Benny's teams, I think they tend to just prefer to go for just a cookie cutter setup, and then you just like overpower the sniper if there's a sniper on the enemy team. So I think it could be like a clash of styles that we're about to see. So we have like on one hand we have the sniper strategy where they hang back a little bit more. They don't push very aggressively. They just sort of let their sniper hit a bunch of shots and then they can follow up.
Yeah.
Just slowly move across, and then on the other hand you have Froyotech who will probably like bomb in 2 soldiers, at least try to get one of them behind. then they'll just run everyone forward, maybe even jump into a demo, and it's kind of be like what we've seen with like Top 5 Rocket or Ascent EU, for our European viewers. Like it's that kind of play style I think we're going to see, where they just really favor the coordinated aggression, and they can. And if the sniper doesn't hit like a whole bunch of shots and just like has a massive impact, then they will just get rolled over because they're effectively playing one man down, and the sniper is not very good at absorbing damage. Like, you know, if they had like a soldier or a scout, then those guys will just, by the fact that they can like hit people if they get too close, like they will kill them. So they get killed slower than a sniper. And a scout is obviously like an evade tank, yeah, if I've ever seen any. Yeah. So like it's so much damage that they can just do to other people.
Yeah. I feel like coming into this first map, it's a great map to kind of open the game. I feel like whether or not they can make this map go well for them over on Lowpander, not just like scrape it by, but just really if they can show a dominant fashion on this map, it kind of will kind of predict how the rest of the series is going to go, because I feel like Lowpander is an emotional team. I feel like they need to feel the hype and kind of really sort of get them to believe in themselves to know that they can do it. Yeah. And kind of happened in the last game, in the Swiss game, where they got those first couple of rounds, and then from there it felt like really dominant and they were doing just so well. So if they can get a good start off in this beginning map and the beginning round of this map, I feel like we're going to be in for a close game.
Yeah. One thing I'm definitely going to be looking out for too is Funds. Funds tends to be incredible on Viaduct. Like he is just so dominant. Yeah. And like basically all of his best maps will be on Viaduct throughout the ETF season. And like Funds was actually looking kind of tired. Like I know he was like kind of struggling, like can we just go home? You know, he was kind of whining a little bit about it.
I think don't let that trick you. I think all the Lowpanders have been very humble and just keeping as modest as possible. And I think they just don't want to kind of go into this cocky at all. And I do hear the announcer kind of counting down there. That means one thing, Beta. We're heading straight into our upper bracket final. It is Froyo versus Lowpander. First map, Viaduct.
Yep. Let's see if what's going to happen here. Usually it's going to be a soldier in, and we do have Mr. Epic on sniper immediately, so it's going to be exactly as we predicted. Poppy is on scout as well. This is very exciting to see how they're going to do it. Paddy's going to jump in very aggressively. He's being kind of denied, yeah. Poppy actually just destroying him immediately. But Froyotech, they've gained so much ground off of this. And so far, Mr. Epic has not hit any good shots that really had any impact, and that's going to be that. And there, yeah, we kind of saw it there, right? The sniper didn't really hit anything, and yeah, the first soldier went in, got shot down, but then the rest of the team just snowballed out of control.
Yeah, it was a good kind of space-making jump by Paddy to kind of avoid taking a brunt of damage, and they had to dedicate so much resources on the side of Lowpander just to take care of him. But again, this just bought space for Froyotech to kind of roll over the point and start like focusing those players down that were kind of running out.
Oh, there we go. Habib going, oh, that was a really close headshot. So Mr. Epic warming up a little bit here.
Oh no, he's been taken down by a wreck there, and he will be cleaned up, however. I mean, the thing that people forget about is not the scary thing about this sniper strategy is not really the sniper itself, it's more the fact that you've got 5 other players protecting the sniper. So if he's not working out, you kind of got all these other players capitalizing on his kind of bait.
Yeah, I'm a really good sniper because people just like suicide into me, and then I pretend it was all me.
The tastiest bait.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really good bait strategy. If you just send in a single soldier with no coordination, it's just not going to work. Paddy's going to jump in very aggressively. He has made his way all the way behind, but he's going to find a soldier going for the air shot. Cannot hit it, but they will trade. So classic Roma trade coming out here. And the fight will continue. And so far, it was looking kind of good for Lowpander. They were 1-up, and they're going to continue to be 1-up. Froyotech, they will cap out the point, but they can get pushed on. There are only 3 people up. And Lowpander, I think they should just move forward here, and they will go forward indeed.
Yeah, they just need to buff up here and start fighting. They've got that loser's advantage where if they do lose some players, they can just trust those respawners to kind of win them the favor. And look, they barely even have to commit the Ubers at this point because they just kind of walk across the point, use their man advantage, and there we go. It's back to the way of Lowpander.
Yeah, very even time right now. Slightly better for Froyotech. Here comes the soldier again, very aggressively. Funds just hitting the meat, taking down Gabuglia. Oh.
Bear down.
That was the medic, and that's such a huge pick. And Mr. Epic just again
Wow.
just doing work. The Uber was forced out here from Martin, so it wasn't like a bad play.
The sniper actually got a bit of Uber there towards the tail end, just to kind of save him from the crater. He will finally be kind of taken down by Banny, who was crawling all over him, and they have kind of fought them off the point for now, but they've got some numbers over on Lowpander and some momentum. They can maybe make this push back out, but they're looking for a sign of weakness from Froyo. Maybe from the demo man. It's actually Hildriff that will go down first, and the scouts just don't want to let them on that goddamn point beater.
Yeah, they are fighting tooth and nail to just keep them off of it, and it's working out and holding on to it. And Froyotech, they're taking a pretty significant time lead right now. And we see Garbuglio actually makes his way onto Mookie, takes him down with the help of Arek. Really nice, and that means that Froyotech just won the flank. And this is
Banny. He just came in and entered the territory of Lowpander, and he's just wrecking shop.
Wow.
He's finally did the flank around and found the pesky little sniper. So more time bought for Froyotech there, but that all started with the little play from Banny helping out the flank and taking out Mookie.
Yeah, really well played. And they're going to actually do a forward hold. And here comes the Pyro to try and counter it, and actually reflects a rocket really well. And they have definitely broken through. Banny going down as well as Garbuglio. Mr. Epic, however, gets taken down on the flank. So once again, the flank is just suffering right now for Lowpander. They might have to try and go cookie cutter. So yeah, this demo man barely gets saved as as Bear just saves him. And now they're just staring each other out. And I think we're getting ready for like two teams just headbutting and running into each other. Mookie's going to jump in very aggressively.
Ooh. Some nice little stickies coming out from Hildriff there, but he will be pushed back, and it just seems like the Froyo blob is just too powerful. Even with Mon kind of getting a free kill here and there, they just seem to be taking off a lot more bigger bites than over on the side of Lowpander, and it feels like the timing just isn't quite there for Lowpander. They'll get like a really nice start where they'll get a load of damage in, but there's no real follow-up. There's kind of like a delay, and
yeah, they need to just dive onto the point here. Time is almost gone out. It's in overtime, and that's going to be it. The first round goes to Froyotech, and just right now the flank is just suffering so much, and Mr. Epic, while hitting a couple of good shots, he's just not being able to do enough because he's just getting like either his flank is dying or like he just gets picked off himself. And we saw a bunch of times here where the sorters would get behind for Froyotech. Garbuglio doing a really good job of doing it, but also Paddy as well.
Well, they're sticking with the Mon Sniper, and the Mon Sniper holds true. He's taken out Habib, and that's a big pick for Lowpander here. Hopefully they can control the pace at this point. They've actually dedicated a soldier. The soldier can't seem to hit a rocket on Mon, and Mon is survived. He's able to actually take another little pot shot at some of the Froyo members, and they've got the man advantage at this point, and they're using it well. Beater Funds is actually cleaning up everybody, and they're going to claim this mid.
Really strong fight there, and that's what like this is what they want to try and do. They just get a pick or two coming out from Mr. Epic, and then they send in someone to try and kill him, and then he just dodges long enough for people to just clean it up, and then they will just win the ensuing fights, and Funds will just clean up. So that was textbook Lowpander strategy right there. Like that is exactly how they want this game to play out. So they'll be holding middle now. It's pretty even Ubers, slightly gonna wait a little bit here before we're gonna have it on Bear, but he's about to go in. So now it's just a matter of where do you go in, because you're so afraid of getting dropped, right? And they're just gonna Uber in here right now, and they actually have a soldier jumping way behind them, even a scout. They all just left their medic. Okay, there we go. The people pick it up. And the Uber is slightly longer coming out from Lowpander, but he'll just get sent skywards. Ooh. But really nice follow up here by Mookie on the flank. He's actually on the shotgun. What kind of shotgun roamer is this? Nice. We're just seeing everything right now as Funds comes in, gets taken down as well by Banny. So just a scout heaven right now, just fighting each other and cleaning up.
I'm just not feeling the bite back from Lowpander. They'll go aggressive onto Mon, and he will be sent back off into the fight. And they get pressed into a corner, and there's a little bit of a counter-aggression coming out from Mookie and a bit from Funds, but they need that extra player as well. I'm kind of wondering where is Pappy during all this. He's actually gone rocking that scout class, keeping it classic Ubers, and it's going a little bit well for them, but he's just making trades right now, and that's just not good enough if they want to win this point from Froyo.
Yeah, right now, Lowpander, they're just hanging out on the cliff trying to play around the sniper, but the sniper has gone down. Banny somehow makes his way in there, just sneaks around the corner and takes him down. And that's going to basically neuter any kind of push coming out or pressure coming out from Lowpander. So now they're just kind of standing back and doing nothing while they wait for their sniper. And like normally, if their sniper is alive, this is a really good position to be in. But when that's not the case, it's kind of not very helpful because time is just ticking down right now. As Mookie has made his way behind, he's just distracting right now. He's being chased down by a scout, but I think he's finally going to make it back to his team. So that was a bit of a detour from him, but Lowpander, they're losing this fight right now. They were trying to go in onto middle, but no, they just lose so many players trying to do it, and Martin, he's going to have to get out.
Yeah, it looks like they wanted to exchange the Ubers out in the mid there and hope that Mookie can kind of draw enough eyes to maybe kind of make the post-Uber fights more favorable for them, but they kind of took the same tactic over on Froyo, but instead when their players got behind, they were in much threatening positions and they held their ground and they just laid damage.
Oh no, Martin gets taken down, gets completely lost here by Froyotech. They were trying to break them, but that was just not working. Benny will get taken down, but that's a trade you will happily take. 2 scouts down, and we do have a much quicker respawn coming out here. That's one of the big advantages on Viaduct, is that the losing team will get much faster respawns. They're going to make use of that, but the scouts will come in back into the fight very quickly. So it's not going to be as big of an advantage as it normally would, as it was like a sniper or a demo that was missing. Bugel's going to jump in, and Ubers have been forced out. Got Bugel's in very deep, takes down the sniper immediately, and Martin actually survives, so that's pretty good. You can kind of consider that a suicide wave. They got the Uber out of the way, and Martin survived. So now they're going to have basically a dry push to get this in. There's 30 seconds left on the clock, so let's see how they go about this.
Yeah, they've only really got one push to make this happen, and they actually decided to make a forward hold of it. And they know that they haven't got the Uber yet, so they have to actually dedicate a pirate to kind of keep this push going and the momentum going, but they're just entering the meat grinder at this point, B2. It's so sad to see, and it's just Martin left. He hasn't even got a chance to get the Uber up and running, so maybe a suicide wave just wasn't the right call there. They did force them out, and
yeah, I think it was the right move. It was just the execution just wasn't quite good enough coming out from a wonderful Lowpander team here. But you know, if you want to see Europe win, definitely make sure to make some noise so they can hear you, audience. Come on, let's hear it as we go into this middle, and we'll see. It's gonna be. Oh yeah, cookie cutter. So they're going away from the sniper. I really like this decision. So now we're gonna actually have like a double soldier bomb coming out as Papi gets ready to move in. You know, he's just gonna take the high rock, or Pride Rock as I'm pretty sure it's called. And so far they're just kind of waiting each other out. Like nobody has any like strong incentive to engage immediately now that the sniper's gone. But it looks like a Soda will jump behind, and Paddy will actually get the first kill. So he goes behind, gets a kill, and now he's gonna come in from the back as well. He actually does a ton of work. And he even survived the whole ordeal. And Funds doesn't want to back out.
So low, Beta. Look at all these low players over on Froyo, but they're kind of pretending that they're strong right now. There is some heals kind of being dished out, and again, I'm just not feeling that bite from Lowpander. They get all this nice damage in, and nobody wants to be the first one to go across and lay the killing blow into Froyo. So they are still doing the dance at the midpoint right now, and Ubers have actually been exchanged. That's how long this fight has been going, and right now it looks like they will prioritize Paddy trying to get behind and just hold his ground from some unfavorable high ground, but he will go down, and the collapse is really strong from Froyotech there. They had all their eyes on Paddy, and they weren't looking at all these other players of Froyo. You do see a nice little attempt from Mond, kind of maybe get some bullshit kills, but no, it doesn't quite go their way. It will be Froyo again, and it's looking very dominant, Beta.
Yeah, very much so. Froyotech have historically been really good at Viaduct, and looks like that hasn't changed at all. It doesn't matter that they're kind of like sort of half of a mixed team. They're just really, really good.
Ooh, nice bomb in from Garbuglio there. A lot of damage, and actually got the Hildrift kill as well, and they're just kind of dealing with all the aggressive players. Mookie will be controlled and dealt with, and they are trying to kind of take the point right underneath Furrio's noses, but I think they won't really commit it in until this last minute. Actually, no, they're going to give them the point and then maybe frag them now. It would hurt the respawn, it's just a little bit harder, and they do lose Banny as well during all this, so maybe you're not so bad if you're on the side of Lowpander at this point. You're actually claiming back a bit of time.
Paddy tries to jump in, but he doesn't quite manage to make the jump in. And yeah, it looks like Arek cannot make any kind of chase down kill as well. So that was pretty much a wasted Uber. They didn't get a whole lot done with it. They got the point out of it, obviously. But here comes the counter push coming out from Lowpander. They have popped as well, and they will take down Oh, actually, Pablo will be the first one to go down. So they're just exchanging points right now. But Froyotech, they look like they want to just actually fight this and just have an even fight. No Ubers involved at all. And they are absolutely winning it so far. Having a few more men alive and a little bit more health and just hitting the shots. And look at that, even Hildreth's going down again. It's really rough when your demo man goes down because then they can just run over like freely across the point.
Yeah, it looks like actually they're going to fight on this left-hand side, and they do have an Uber charge waiting in the wings for Froyo, so they can maybe take the fight to them. But I mean, when you've got Lowpander actually delivering it to them, they do have some resistance in the fact that they got the Mookie and Spy, but we'll have to pin it all on his hopes. He's going to go for the backstab. He actually whiffs it, and they do catch him, and he actually pops off the Uber Bear as he was being spammed out and had to turn his direction away from the spam. That's a very nice play from Bear there, but the counter Uber, and it's very strong from Lowpander. They're actually cleaning up these frags here because there was just so much chaos just happening during all of that Froyo fighting, and God, that last little scout that Erek was there, the little scout that could, he seemed to survive for so long, but they're actually not capping the point just quickly. They're waiting for the respawn, I imagine, on the team, and there you go. Now they'll cap it now, but this is going to be a hard one to hold, Peter. A good minute gap between
They still have a
teams.
spy, keep in mind. So there's still a spy running around somewhere that is probably not all that good. But, you know, it is Mookie, and he's done this stuff before, where he just, like, continues to be a pest.
He wants to stab the medic, and it's taken him so long to get to him. Bear spotted him, and there we go. Whilst they were busy melting the rest of Lowpander, they had time to just turn around and deal with that spy, so it's literally crumbling for Lowpander at this point.
Yeah, there's still 50 seconds left, but there's a full forward hold going on. And so far, I actually think the pyro breaks have been pretty good. Like, they've actually been making it out. And once again, see the pyro coming out, but Benny's actually in there as well. He would take down the pyro, so that's a really big, crucial pick. But oh my God, Bear, he's getting forced out by Mr. Epic. So that was basically a suicide wave, and it's going to leave Martin just alone in spawn, having no one to heal. There we go, finally.
He's not really going to get much of an Uber, at least by the time he gets the Uber. I'm not sure if they can make a solid push of it at this point. So
yeah, they can't wait for the Uber either way. Like, they just have to go. And Fun's is going to be on Pyro again. Let's see, just out here. Actually,
oh Jesus!
Habib, just destroying nerds. Absolutely crushing this push out. Poppy's gonna go out there, land to the slaughter. Like, they have to try, but they just can't make it past the forward hole, and that's gonna be a dominant 3-0 win for Froyotech, just absolutely demolishing Lowpander on Viaduct.
This is their map pick as well, Peter.
Yeah.
Like, they felt like that this was their best chance to actually take this game against Froyotech, and with an answer like that from Froyotech,
yeah, that's crushing, dude.
Yeah, very crushing.
I can't believe, like, actually, now that I think about it, yeah, like, wasn't like at I-52 or I-55, or was it also I-58? I can't remember, but it was always just Froyotech on Viaduct was just doom.
Yeah.
For all these teams. And I know the team is slightly different, but still, I guess it's just a trend that just holds up.
Yeah, maybe they breed the King of the Hill players just a little bit better over in America. I don't know, maybe they just got a better grip or understanding on how to play Viaduct. I mean, they've always never really needed the sniper or anything like that. But EU seems to really center around these sort of, like, I don't want to use the word gimmick, but
I mean, the sniper's not a gimmick, but, like, it's definitely a different way to go. We are going to go to some logs, and I am expecting Benny to just have, like, a monster game. He almost never died.
Yeah, and it wasn't even because he was trying to not put himself in danger. He was in the thick of things. He had to constantly just kind of burst down the door and take out the sniper, and when they finally killed the sniper so many times that they didn't even want to use it anymore.
Yeah, like, they definitely broke the whole sniper thing, and it was the two different play styles at work, and we can just see that Froyotech, they were just able to break it really effectively, and we see actually is Benny top damaging? Yeah, he is.
Yeah, look at all those deaths.
464 DPM on Scout.
Yeah, 19 deaths for Mon, so he just never had any space to breathe during that entire game. It's very uncharacteristic for him.
Yeah, he actually, like, looks like a bad sniper according to the logs, right?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
when you make him look bad, that's you know, it's good then.
I don't think there was ever a moment where he just had to had time to play as a sniper. It felt like there was always somebody dealing with Mon. Even if the times where it wasn't going completely successful, at least he was like busy, had his attention drawn away, and you know, he was just not being...
Garbuglio and Paddy, they were also really good, both of them, at just jumping behind.
Yeah.
And there was so many situations where basically a soldier would be in China just shooting down at Lowpander, like at the tail end of a fight. And like that's kind of where you want to be as a roamer. You want to be at China shooting down at the enemy team. And if you're going to get yourself in that position, you're golden.
You did kind of see Mookie sort of try and attempt that, but he kind of spent so much time just traveling and touring the map that he didn't really want to stand his ground. He just always opted to like just draw attention and run away.
Because he was alone. Right?
Yeah, but even Paddy was like times where he was in behind, but he stood his ground at points and like just made good little fights and skirmishes. Sometimes even take a scout with him when he's a little bit behind. It feels like Mookie's just kind of wasting time almost when he goes behind. Yeah.
And you can see it's just a complete domination right now. And Benny top fragging. 25 to 10, that's very, very good, and we already mentioned his damage.
Yeah, a wreck as well, kind of farming some of those kills, and you could see that they want to simulate that on the side of, well, not Piece of Polish that they've got on the actual stream, it's actually Lowpander, but Pappy and Funds, they actually run the Pappy Scout, which is...
Are they actually playing instead of Lowpander? Is that what happened? No. No, okay.
I was scared that would explain a lot, wouldn't it?
Yeah, all right, but... Yeah. I still think also, if you look at Habib, he had 6 deaths. That's very, very little. And also, of course, Bear, he died twice. I think he got sniped once.
He had some really good moments, Bear. There was times where he had his attention drawn back from like a spy, and there was Spanner on top of him as well. Usually, when all these things are just being thrown at you as a medic, you kind of like lose under the pressure and you kind of get flustered and end up dropping. But Bear kept his cool. Yeah,
and it's pretty good when you have basically a perma sniper playing against you to only die twice.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure, he got sniped once.
Yeah.
And that was it.
The only times I saw it majorly work is when it was immediately a Habib kill. Once they got the Habib out of the equation, it felt like they can start taking those fights, and Funds could really start playing off of Hildreth's damage and kind of taking the fight slowly from there. But it only really happened like the one or twice, like one time, 2 times.
I will say, like, it also seemed like Froyotech, they were very willing to just cede the point. Like, they were just like, we're fine with losing the point as long as we just win the fight afterwards. Right? Like, that seems like something they were very willing to do, and that's kind of interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you actually get the spawn advantage. You know, you have those things.
Well, that is just one map. They have to put it behind them, and hopefully we can put it behind them as well as we go over to the pre-game of our next map, which is actually Froyo's pick. It is going to be Snakewater Beta.
Yes, Snakewater is a very different map, I want to say. It's still a pretty good scout map, but unlike Viaduct, the soldiers can actually be like extremely effective at doing engagements on middle and just starting fights.
It's almost like the soldiers show in a way. You want to see what they've got cooking, if they're going to do a massive flank round, if they want to just kind of dictate or control kitchen, or if they just want to go for the massive double bomb in. It's always fascinating, I feel, to just watch a nice Snakewater middle and see how a team likes to approach it.
Yeah, and at the same time, like, a scout can absolutely shut them down if they're actually hitting the shot. So it feels like it's a very fun mid. Like, I remember when Snakewater was like originally made, I thought the middle was really bad, but like, it really turns out it's actually like a very good middle.
Yeah, it grows on you. It grows on you. It's just different. That's all. And different isn't always necessarily bad in TF2, but that does mean we are starting. This is our second map of the evening. It's Froyotech. It's Lowpander. It's the upper bracket final. I'm TurboTabs. I'm joined with Beta. And Beta, what's going to happen on this middle?
Well, both demos get pretty much perfect rollouts. And also, I just want to point out that Froyotech, if they win this, they're in the grand final, so they're definitely going to be going all out. Mookie's going to go into the little hidey area. He's actually going to look like he's going to be very aggressive, but he gets completely shut down. And Papi is also behind right now, so he's about to come in. And no, actually, he's on his own side, and the sword are going in, and all of a sudden, these kills are coming in. Froyotech, they were being very aggressive. It's only Arek right now that's actually having any kind of success, but I think it's a little too late, as just the medic will run out. That's a pretty good person to have survived. He's on 70%. He's all the way back on last, so he will get an uber charge for last. But I'm not sure they can actually hold second. It's going to be very interesting. They actually have 2 players and a medic to hold and contest second, and it looks like they want to do it. But this could end very poorly if they're not careful. And I think Bear is in too deep now. I don't think he can get out without actually using.
Yeah, but nobody's really focusing him right now. They actually want to turn their attention to Banny, who might be overextended here, and no one seems to finish his life. There we go. They finally get the Banny kill, and they want to push forward. They get this Uber, but Bear counters with his own Uber now, and they're on the back foot here, it looks like Lowpander. They want to get out because they know that Uber is a little bit better for Bear and co. So they're going to back off. They're going to calm it down, go to a nice little stalemate, and slow down this game because... I said slow down the game, and then suddenly Pappy and Mon just feed into the sticky trap. Actually, they'll lose funds somewhere. I think that was over on the saw. I have no idea, actually. But with 3 players down, that is a guaranteed middle for Froyo. Maybe they could set up some sort of shenanigans with some sticky traps over on second with Hilldrift, but it's looking grim for Lowpander in the span of like 10 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. They were trying to do a dry push, and then they just walked into a double sticky trap. And Froyotech, they are definitely going to push on that one.
Oh, nice. Very nice, like kind of skirmishing and like fights picked from Lowpander there. They're actually going to pick off some of these players. A nice aggressive bomb from Hilldrift. Will he keep himself alive? Yes, he actually backs off in time as well. The scouts are trying to come in, but some nice little counter aggression. Froyo, they're actually making the turn here.
Pipes.
And there's got to be some whiff shots there from Lowpander Beast. It's kind of screw the pooch on that.
Yeah, absolutely, but also Habib was just hitting pipes.
Bomb in, Garbuglio. Oh, Martin does not dare go face the air shot of Garbuglio, and he's actually going to juke him out and go deeper into the base and keep them terrified. He's actually going to back out in the end of that as well. Very stylish from the American there.
Yeah, very, very good play. It looks like he's just going to cap out second. Is he not? Like they're pushing in on last, but they've done a Dignitas. They haven't actually captured second. This is a really huge mistake. It has to be like a poor communication right there. But now they have actually captured it out, and they might just get the kills anyway.
They're holding the line here, and they're just not getting cleaned up here. And there we go. They'll actually play the point in the end, and it's almost like snake water on hard difficulty there, Bisa, but they make it work.
Yeah, kind of unbelievable that they make such a silly mistake. Like I thought they were leaving behind a Roma to do it, but they actually sent a scout, so they just Uber in and only went for kills. And when that's the case, you can just kind of retreat into spawn and just wait it out and kite the Uber forever. But they decided not to do that, or they didn't do it well enough. And that's going to be that. It's going to be 1-0, sorry, for Froyotech on the second map. And let's see, Mookie, he tried to jump in, but he actually just ended up taking a ton of damage, but Garbuglio is behind.
Yep, and he wants to time his rocket jump. He's actually going for these hiding players up top instead, and they'll commit a lot of resources to deal with this little high ground players, but they've always been farmed here, and now with the player advantage, surely they feel like they can take the fight to Froyo at this point. They're all starting to push across the point, but the focus fire is just a little bit better from Froyo, Peter, and they just can't seem to find the kills either. The scouts are trying to fish for some, but they really need a damaging presence like Mookie or someone to kind of just commit in, get some damage set up for them so they can start laying down that focus fire, but no one's stepping up for Lowpander.
Yeah, Banny just runs in and takes down Mookie as well. I feel like that was the one thing that really pushed it over the edge right there. So Froyotech, they even bluffed their health a little bit. Like Banny was just kind of running forward with like 50 health, like just as if he was really healthy. So that definitely scared Lowpander back quite a bit. And there we go. Funds actually gets dropped from the Uber. Nice pipe from Habib to make that happen. And now Mr. Epic is actually really far forward, gets taken down again by Banny, and this is just a disastrous Uber.
I think Martin might actually be caught out here. Yeah, the pincers coming in, and there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. Pappy will get fired up in the air, and he's been cleaned up. This time they've actually left somebody on second, so Froyo even making some little improvements here and there, but with all those players down, Funds goes Engineer? What? This is not the time for Engineer, Funds. You've got red players entering your base, and it's 2-0 already.
Yeah, that's a bit silly, but just it was basically pretty much hopeless, right? As soon as Froyotech just rolled second that convincingly. It was a very, very good fight on second, and sometimes you can just take second and just roll away, all the way back in here. But yeah, Lowpander, they need to step up right now. Like, they're looking like they're tired and want to go home and sleep, and you can't do that yet. You have to win this. You have to go earn it, in my opinion.
Yeah, someone needs to be the playmaker for Lowpander right now. I feel like there's nobody kind of stepping up, going for the big damage or the big, like, just pushes in from them. And Froyo, the confidence is kind of soaring for them. They're really just kind of throwing themselves into the fight, and they're coming out strong. It seems like the DM is just kind of sailing them away at this point. It's a nice clean wipe. They do lose Penny, however, but with their medic alive, Bear will grant them an uber charge for this last push. And with 2-0 already on the board and not a single last push kind of like lost at this point.
Froyotech, they're already in on last, and they don't have second again, so they're doing it again. This time I think it's just to pressure and try to get people as they walk out the door. As they don't get any of those immediate kills, they just back off and get ready to do a proper push. They're probably waiting for Paddy as well to show up and get some buff. Yeah, there we go. So now Paddy's going to be in the Uber as well. They're going to have a full Uber advantage. There's about 50% on Martin, and they go in. And here comes the push. Ben's just going to run right onto the point. He's just standing on it. Oh, almost gets it, but not quite enough. But he does get enough time that Froyotech will just run onto it, and they are just dominating right now.
Mwah. Beautiful TF2 there. That was just scout straight onto the point, Sticky to back him up, and they just took the trap perfectly over on Lowpander, and they lost like 2 or 3 players straight off the bat off that re-initiation, and from there it was Froyo's last point of control. Yeah.
Okay, last mid, Benny completely denied Mookie as he tried to jump over, and that's pretty much what won them that middle. So let's see if Mookie is mixing it up here and trying to do something else. He's going to actually try to go in pretty low, but Benny's in his face again, and Mr. Epic will be the first person to die. Mookie, he's coming in now. He's jumping onto the medic, pops him into the air, cannot quite hit the big air shot. Oh, it actually gets air shot there by Bear, as he was getting rushed down by the market gardener. So great job by him to keep this alive as he continues to miss some arrows. But that's going to be it. Hilder's just going to duck his head down and try to run back home without dying, and he will succeed in doing so. But just, again, a really strong mid coming out from Froyotech, and they're just rolling this.
It just feels like some great decision making, and everyone's just like in synergy and like sync with one another. Beta, they know exactly that if they get the medic kill, they just need to go back all the way to Bear and keep him well protected, and they do it without missing a beat. Nobody kind of like delays or dilly-dallies. Everyone knows, and everyone's extremely focused on Froyo right now, and it's very scary to watch.
Yeah. It's definitely something that makes you nervous if you're Lowpander. And Froyotech, they're currently setting up for another push. They have an Uber advantage. I assume they know, but they're definitely taking their time. I think they're being too slow about it if they actually want to go in. They're going to Uber in now, but was it fast enough? I'm not sure it was. There's about 85% coming out here on Martin. But Banny once again just stands on the point. Yeah.
That flow chart is practically like, get Banny on point, apply stickies to point, win point. And there we go. It's the 4th round on the board. It's match point for Froyotech. They could take this entire upper bracket final, a clean sweep.
Yeah, in about 10 minutes as well. And like that's got to hurt for Lowpander and their confidence. And it doesn't bode well if you just get completely crushed like this. I know it's late in the day, but still, you don't want to lose like this. See if Poppy's going to jump in very aggressively. He's in very deep, but Mookie has not jumped in quite yet. There we go. He's finally in. But Arek will clean up both players, and I don't think it did enough for Lowpander. And just, again, Froyotech just dominating this middle, just waiting it out, and then just focusing players as they jump in.
I mean, I like the idea, Beta. I like the aggression coming out from Pappy, and it just felt like everything was just a couple of seconds out of sync there, and I would have liked it if they just came in just a little bit earlier, and Mookie's bomb was maybe a bit too high as well. Like, he needs to kind of lower the sky meter on that jump in.
Yeah, very much so. Now we're left in a similar situation as before, but this time around there is an actual Uber coming out, and both Ubers get forced at the same time. However, Paddy has been dropped right now, so it's a slight advantage for Lowpander.
Oh, there we go. I thought he was going to get out for a second there. I would have lost my marbles, but they will actually claim the funds kill whoever extends into a sticky trap, and they're looking to branch out.
Oh, Arek actually somehow made it. How did he duke them out through that drop down?
What a way to lose the game. Yeah. Oh, man. That is probably the most bitter pill for Lowpander to swallow there. 5-0, clean sweep. It's all over, Beta.
Yeah, and that was in 19 minutes.
And not with a bang, but with a whimper. Jesus.
Yeah, like Lowpander, they're gonna be feeling pretty bad about that one. That's there's just complete domination from Froyotech, and like they did try a couple of different things and methods on this middle. They tried to be passive, they tried to do double bomb, they tried to be very aggressive, and every single time Froyotech just shut it down and then basically rolled it into last.
Yeah.
They even won like the Uber exchange coming out on like a second point. So yeah, let's look at some logs. Probably not going to learn a whole lot other than there was a bunch of Froyotech players that did really well. Benny actually having surprisingly bad stats, I guess. I don't know. He has good damage, but yeah, he died more than I thought. I guess, yeah, they didn't get as many kills, so it was just very, very quick overall. I guess Habib is the big...
Habib, look at that kills. He's got a good 10 kills above Hildreth there, practically triple. It is triple. Yeah. I've actually gotten better at maths. Yay. But yeah, I was kind of predicting this matchup to be happening on the third map if we actually got to that point, but it kind of reared its head into the second map instead, and it goes to show that Habib has just got this game by the balls compared to Hildreth.
Yeah, that was... You can't even just point your fingers at just one guy. It was just like the entire team as a unit just got completely crushed.
I mean, I feel like there's just nobody stepping up from Lowpander. Like, they would do good damage. You can see all the injured players. We can see all the injured players at the least. Lowpander can't. And maybe they're just doing a good job of kind of acting strong on Froyotech, but nobody's like following up this damage in from that Lowpander kind of dish out. And it not only happened on the Snakewater map, it happened on the Product map as well. But who knows? Maybe if they treat this little thing, they can go into a grand final maybe to kind of...
Maybe it's all a giant ruse. You know, they're just going to make them overconfident. They're going to figure out how they play these middles, and they've just been throwing. Like they didn't care. They played like complete opposite of what they're going to do tomorrow. And yeah, I'm not even buying it either. I can't even finish the thought. It's definitely not happening.
Genius. Well, if there's any silver lining, I think maybe Martin had a good time surviving. Like 3 deaths from a 5-0 game. It's not.
That's actually really good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So he didn't get anything done.
Look at those champions over there. Not even
like
not even hyped
he's
up.
Just like
yep,
he's
another
like
day
out. Like
another day in the office.
Yeah, just killed 6 kids. LOL on Twitter.
Damn, damn, Peter. Have some mercy, Jesus.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right. Well, what can we really say at this point? And after like that nice little transition in, maybe we should transition back out because we've got to go to sleep, get some, just get some things sorted. Basically, we need to go.
Yeah, we need to get some food, get some fluids, get some sleep, and definitely Lowpander. We can see they need to recharge their energy. That's for sure. Like it's absolutely crazy. So
wait, before we go anywhere, Plantronics, Rig 500E. Very nice headset.
Yeah, and what about it? You can win 3 of them, I believe. Well, you can win 1 of them, but 3 people will
actually
win.
You could win 3, but 2 died in the fire. So we.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure the firemen probably liked it as well.
Yeah. Also, a big shout out to Esports United as well as Plantronics for making this event happen. A big thank you. So I've been TurboTabs. With me has been Beta, and I guess we'll see you tomorrow for some more playoff action. It will be the lower brackets happening tomorrow as well as the grand finals. See you then.